All right, welcome in. I'm the Kodiak, and today I'm here to talk about Roman Wilson, University of Michigan. And before I even talk about anything regarding him, I just have to say that if you are a football fan, you have to check out Roman Wilson's TikTok. It is A1 content. It's literally just at Trill, like Trill, as in the word. I don't know. It's the rap word. But at Trill, check out his TikTok. A1 content. But yeah, between Pearsall, Baker, McConkey, and Wilson, the guys who stood out at either the Shrine or the Senior Bowl. I have done a video on 3 of these guys now, and Pearsall is coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's now time to evaluate these guys and for me to discuss what they are as prospects, I think they're going to be as receivers going into the NFL, what scheme fits I think they buy into, and yeah, let's get into it. So I fully believe that Roman Wilson is the most underrated Wolverine entering the draft this year. With how balanced Michigan's offense was, he really didn't get to put up stats like other top receivers entering this class. And him and Cornelius Johnson were a heck of a duo. And Johnson has shined at the Shrine Bowl this past week too. Um, and I credit these two with making the J.J. McCarthy eval pretty easy because not only did they not need to throw, but against the 4 best teams they played against. So keep in mind, J.J. McCarthy averaged 140 passing yards a game with 2 guys who will be picked in the NFL at some point this year. And then, yes, I know Corum and Edwards, an elite line play, were all they really needed, but it's wise to let another team step on the McCarthy grenade, especially if he's going to go as high as he's mocked right now, which is like the mid-first round. That said, I absolutely love Roman Wilson. He's a Hawaii boy, and I knew several players at UH when I went to school there that played at St. Louis with him on Oahu, and that was 4 years ago, and I can't offer any realistic insight now from any of those guys because that was a long time ago, part of that chapter of my life. But there's a lot to like about Roman Wilson. Great character. After Michigan beat Ohio State, he went up to the podium and emphasized that Ohio State was no longer tough, or at least tougher than years past. He said, "No, definitely not. I see guys who want to put on the Louis V outfit, want to act hard. When you're out there, I see the film. You're not tough." That's incredible rivalry fuel, and he does have a point, considering Harbaugh was most concerned at Michigan with getting a bunch of guys who wanted to be mercenaries and fight for each other rather than, go for the NIL deal. But back to Wilson as a player, his leaping catch on the tip ball literally saved the Rose Bowl for Michigan. And one thing that sticks out when evaluating Wilson is how fast he is. He is probably going to run 4.3 to 4.4 territory, and it's bizarre to me how he was deployed because he looks like college football's version of Amon-Ra with a carbon copy of Jerry Jeudy's frame. He's another one that Detroit/Michigan football fans are going to be very familiar with. He runs incredible routes. He looks so smooth. And if there's one knock I've seen against him, it's his hands. But look at me when I say this. As a prospect and when we evaluate these guys, drops don't matter. Guys like Jamar Chase and Tyreek have led the NFL in drops. Um, but I feel like McCarthy made his receivers look worse than they actually were. Like, Roman Wilson's pretty good, but he has half the production that he would have had he gone to a place like Washington. And there's multiple Twitter clips of him just proving that in one-on-ones in the Senior Bowl against DBs projected to go in the first round, that he can obliterate any defender's ankles. And he made one of the best catches of the entire weekend. And you've probably seen this clip everywhere lately. He's a smooth route runner, natural hands, quick feet. He comes from a tough program. This guy can do it. This guy can do it all. And everything we've heard from the guys down in Mobile, Alabama, suggests that of McConkey, Pearsall, Baker, and Wilson, the Senior Bowl studs, it's that Roman Wilson very well probably had the best few days of practice more than anyone. Roman Wilson ultimately was a tough eval due to lack of passing volume and lack of advanced stats supporting him actually breaking out in the NFL in a huge way. In evaluating wide receivers, I'm still of a belief is a literal numbers game, but here are some stats that do back up Roman Wilson's game. Highest graded PFF wide receiver versus single coverage, 2.2 yards per out run. Keep in mind, that's a Michigan team that rarely ever threw deep. Roman Wilson is an interesting wide receiver prospect with an outlier analytical profile, and for how good of a program Michigan is, Harbaugh very rarely got the best out of his wide receivers down there. Look at Nico Collins, and why would you need to get the best out of your wide receivers when you have Corum and Edwards? So him and Johnson were the only two reasons why Michigan kind of had a semi-balanced passing attack. So where does he fit in at the NFL level? What team would be the best fit for him? I saw an athletic mock draft today, and as a Broncos fan, I must say, I kind of like the fit there, although one of Judy or Sutton will be gone this upcoming offseason. Our cap space just can't support holding on to the two of them. We really haven't gotten the production that we've invested into our wide receiver room. That entirely being said, Roman Wilson would be a great slot for this team. You let Mims and either Judy or Sutton play on the outside because Judy's not slot. He's a boom bust outside deep threat. And that would be very good. I think that'd be great for the team. But there's another team I'm eyeing, and this team does not have any slot wide receivers. You need improvements everywhere on this offense, but I envision the Steelers as a good landing spot for him. Deontay and Pickens are both outside guys, and Calvin Austin has definitely shown some flashes here and there, but ultimately, Roman Wilson is such an AFC North player, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for him in the NFL. All right, that does it for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already. I've got tons of prospect videos coming out, especially because it's now draft season. I'm going to try to hit on as many of these guys as possible. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.